In this part of the course, we'll make the project that you're seeing here. Logo and bottom elements will be created with vector graphics. Majorca text will be created with the text tool. We'll use the drop shadow tool to create this nice shadow under the text. Last element, this means the background, is a bitmap. This project number is 20. If you want to have a closer look on it, go to File menu, then Open, and select File 20_pp. Let's start with creating a new document. Go to File menu and click on New. Set the size to A4, page orientation to portrait, colour mode to CMYK, resolution to 300 dpi, preview mode to normal and click OK. Go to View menu, then Setup and click on Guideline Setup. Go to Preset section, activate the page borders presets and click on OK. Now go to the View menu, then Snap to and click on Snap to Guidelines. First element that we'll create is this logo. Select the ellipse tool, hold Ctrl and draw a proportional circle. Change the colour of the circle to blue. Press F2 and select the area to zoom. Switch to Rectangle tool and draw a slim rectangle. Now switch to white cursor. Click on the side to deselect. When there's no selection on the screen, the property bar is filled with its default option. At the end of the property bar, there's a Duplicate Distance tool. Now the X and Y are set to plus values, which means that our figure will move up and right every time we duplicate it. Select the rectangle. Go to Edit menu and click on Duplicate. Well, let's set the shortcut instead. Select the rectangle and press Ctrl D. Press Ctrl D several times. So, each copy was moved for 0.25 inches up and 0.25 inches to the right. Let's now try to change these values to minus numbers. Change the X to minus 0.25. Press Ctrl D. As you can see, each copy is moved up for 0.25 and left to 0.25 inches. Change the Y value to 0.25. Now the copies will be moved down and to the left. So that's how this tool works. Let's make a different experiment. Change the X value to 0. Now, each copy will be moved only down. So now, this is how we can duplicate and move the figure at the same time. Let's now do the same thing, but using a different technique. So, when we select our figure and press Ctrl D, the program will look at these values and move our copy. Let's now try to copy this figure with a different technique. Let's copy it with our mouse. Don't deselect the figure. Now, every time we press Ctrl D, each copy will be moved by the distance between the first and the second rectangle. Press Ctrl D several times so that's another way in which we can move and duplicate the figure at the same time. Press Ctrl Z several times to undo the changes. So when we use Ctrl D shortcut, the selected figure will be duplicated and the copy will be moved. This distance can be changed right here on the property bar. Press Ctrl D. But when we copy a figure, position it and keep it selected, each new copy will be moved by the distance between the first and the second rectangle. Press Ctrl D to duplicate the figure. Now select all figures. All but these rectangles are on top. so we need to change their position to trim the blue circle. So when we click the trim icon now, all figures on top will trim the bottom figure. Click on the trim icon. Select all rectangles and delete them. We won't need them anymore. Because they're rectangles, we're no longer than the circle is now constructed out of several figures connected with each other. Go to Arrange menu and click on Break Curve Apart. Click on the side to deselect. Now we can move each of these parts separately. Now each part is a separate path. Select and delete the top part of the circle. Select all elements and combine them together. So we already know when the elements aren't overlapping, it doesn't matter whether we use combine or weld. Both actions will have the same effect. Click on the combine icon. Switch to the ellipse tool, hold Ctrl and draw a proportional circle. And change its colour to orange. Now we'll move this circle under the blue figure. Select the figure, go to Arrange menu, then Order and click on to Back of Layer. We can also do that by using the keyboard shortcuts. Shift and page down will move the selected object to the back, and Shift and page up will move the selected object to the front of the layer. We have only one layer, so it doesn't matter whether we move the object to the back of the page or to the back of the layer. Press Shift and F4. Now we'll make these palm trees. We can create one figure and form it, or we can create several figures and combine them together. Let's use the technique we've been recently talking about. We'll first create our figure out of straight lines. Then we'll convert them to curves and form our figure. Select the Bezier tool. We'll use this tool a lot. It's one of the best tools for this kind of figures. Now, draw one palm tree leaf. Just create a simple leaf. We'll make it smoother in a minute. To close the figure, click on the starting point. So our figure is now closed. The close curve icon is not active. Now we can set the colour to our figure. Switch to Shape tool. Now select all nodes and click on the Convert to Curve icon. Line segments between the selected nodes were converted into curves. Now we can work on the nodes. Delete some of them and convert others into symmetrical nodes. Keep working with the nodes until the figure is nice and smooth. We can now also drag the entire line segment. Now select the Polygon tool and draw a triangle. Duplicate the triangle and place copies like this at the bottom edge of the figure to make it look more natural. Rotate or scale each copy. Just duplicate these triangles and place them like this. Of course, we can also select more than one triangle and duplicate the whole group. Now, we'll use these triangles to trim the palm leaf figure. Since they're on top, we don't need to change their position. Select all figures and click on the trim icon. Select all triangles and delete them. We can make one leaf at a time, or we can just create one figure that will represent all leaves. Let's duplicate this leaf. Click on the leaf with the left mouse button. Drag it to the side and click on the right mouse button. Select the leaf and click on the mirror horizontally icon. Let's now position the copied figure like this and rotate it a little. Switch to the Bezier tool and start creating a new leaf. Of course, we can also make more spikes like this. Just try to make it resemble an actual palm leaf. Let's say that we don't want to click on the starting point to close our path. Click on the close curve icon and the path will be closed automatically. The space between the starting node and the ending point was closed with a straight line. Switch to the Shape tool, select all nodes and click on Convert to Curve icon. Now delete some of the nodes and then move others. Of course, we can just select all nodes and use the Reduce option. Let's set it to 12 and then press Enter. Now zoom in and modify the shape of the leaf figure. Let's now use the technique with triangles. Switch to the Polygon tool and create a triangle. Now we have to duplicate this triangle and position each copy separately. Select all figures and click on the Trim icon. Select all triangles and then delete them. Let's copy the leaf we've just created and mirror it. We can also rotate it manually. Place it on the other side. Now copy it again, rotate the copy and place it on top of the palm tree. Let's say that 5 palm leaves is enough. Select all leaves and downscale them. Now we'll make the trunk of the palm. We'll use the same tool to create it, the Bezier tool. Draw the palm tree trunk and close the path by clicking on the starting point. The smaller palm is just downscale copy of the larger one. Select all nodes in this figure and click on the Convert to Curve icon. To make our figure smoother, we delete all extra nodes and convert remaining points to symmetrical nodes. Select all nodes and click on Symmetrical Node icon. Switch to white cursor and position the palm tree trunk. Now switch to the Shape tool and work on the bottom of the tree trunk. This part is ready. Switch to the Ellipse tool and draw a circle between the trunk and the leaves. Select all figures and click on the Weld icon. You need to be patient because doing such a complicated figure can be time consuming. Select the figure, duplicate it and downscale the copy. Rotate the small palm tree, mirror it and rotate it some more. Select both palm trees and weld them together. Place those palms over the blue figure. Make sure that the bottom of the palm trees is placed over one of the blue lines. Switch to the Shape tool and place all these nodes over this part of the blue figure. Switch to white cursor, select the blue figure, hold Shift and add the green figure to the selection. Click on the Weld icon. As you can see, something went wrong. We need to first break the blue object so we can weld the green figure with only one blue stripe. Press Ctrl Z and select the blue figure. Go to Arrange menu and click on the Break Curve Apart option. Select only this one blue stripe. Hold a Shift and add the green figure to the selection. Now click on the Weld icon. Duplicate the orange circle. Set its fill to none and place it right next to the logo. We'll use it to cut parts of the blue figures. We'll do it in two ways. First, we'll cut these objects one by one, and then we'll learn how to cut them all at one time. Select the first blue stripe, hold Shift and select the circle. We'll now use the intersect icon. When we click on this icon, both figures will stay in our document and third figure will be created. Click on the intersect icon. As you can see, the third figure was created. Let's change its colour so we can see it better. Click on the blue figure, go to Arrange menu, then click Order and click on to Back Layer. Now select the second blue stripe. Hold Shift and add the circle to this selection. Click on the intersect icon, select the new figure and change its colour to red. Select the second blue stripe, go to Arrange menu, then Order and click to Back Layer. I'm doing this by accessing the Arrange menu, but we can also use the keyboard shortcut. Now, repeat all actions to the third stripe. Select the third blue stripe, hold Shift, select the circle and click on the intersect icon and change the colour of the new figure to red. Select the third blue stripe, go to Arrange menu, then Order and click on to Back Layer. Move the circle to the side and delete it. Well, press Ctrl Z, maybe we'll need it later. As you can see, the blue stripes placed under the orange circle are still intact. Move the palms figure to the front. To do that, press Shift and Page Up. So that's one way to do it. Now we'll learn how to do the same thing, but in a different way. Select all red stripes and delete them. Now, select the first 4 blue stripes and press Shift, Page Up. Let's move the palms figure also to the front. Select the figure and press Shift, Page Up. Place the trimming circle like this. Select the orange circle and duplicate it by pressing the plus key on the numeric keypad. So now we have 2 orange figures. We'll now trim the orange figure with the bigger circle. Select the bigger circle, hold Shift and add the orange figure to the selection. Now click on the trim icon. Change the colour of the trim figure to red and move this circle to the side. Now we can see what figure we've created. Select the first 4 blue stripes. Let's now combine them. This way we'll trim them all at once. Click on the Combine icon. We'll use the red figure to trim the 4 blue stripes. The red figure is under the stripes, so we need to select it first. Select the red figure, hold Shift and click on the blue stripes. Now click on the trim icon. Now you can move the red figure away from the logo. So this is the second way in which we can achieve this effect. This technique changes the structure of our figure. Switch to wireframe view. As you can see, the first 4 stripes were trimmed. In the first version, the stripes were just placed under the figure. Select these 2 extra figures and delete them. Switch to Text tool and create a standard artistic text. Change its colour and make it bold. Select all objects and group them. This way we can change the figures together without changing them permanently. Select the logo and delete its outline. Go to Pen tool icon menu and click on No Outline.